Hi everybody, I'd like to give you a quick orientation to show you how this course is organized and to explain the three different technologies that we will be using. The first of these is Blackboard. It looks like this, of course. The second one is Google Drive, which looks like this. And the third is our custom designed Weebly website, which I create because it's much more mobile friendly and audio video friendly than Blackboard. So if you're using a mobile phone and you want to check in on the course, just bookmark publishinginsideout.com and you can come back to this site at any time. So a little more detail about each of these. I'm on my main Blackboard page now. I'm going to jump into Publishing Inside Out for 2020. There it is. Notice it uses this same little graphic image of the magic book, which I think is kind of a neat signifier. So over here on the left panel, you can see the main navigation links that you will need are right here. Homepage, course website, syllabus, schedule, discussion forums, and my grades. We are basically using Blackboard as the communications and file sharing hub for the course. By meaning all of your assignments will be posted in the discussion forums as well as the discussion forums themselves. So we're on the homepage right now. It's just a basic splash page. There's not much here. But what I do want to show you is the syllabus is linked right here. You can click on that and read through that, and please do. And then most importantly, the schedule. The schedule is kind of the primary orientation space for everything we're doing in the class. So the class, you can see on the front page of the schedule, overview and key dates. Class begins January 21. That's right now. Then we have 3 units. Unit 1 is called Writing for Real-World Audiences, an Introduction to Publishing. Unit 2 is called Researching a Market, Journals and Other Short-Form Publishing Venues. Then we have Spring Break, March 23rd to March 29th. And then Unit 3 is called Building Your Author Platform, Books, Self-Publishing, and Author Websites. And then Final Portfolio and Reflective Essay are due Monday, May 11th. So that's kind of a snapshot. The Unit 1 is 4 weeks long, Unit 2 and 3 are 5 weeks long, and then this final piece is just like 1 week. So it's basically about 15 weeks total that we will be meeting together. Now the details appear below that, and I have filled this out pretty much all the way to the bottom now so you can see what's due. And the way this course works, basically I divide each unit into a week. So for example, here's week 1, this top row here. You can see the dates, January 21 to 27th. There's the weekly learning goals right here. And then readings and resources. And if they're blue, that means they're hot links. So these take you through the first elements of the course homepage, the course website for Unit 1, the course website for week 1, and a link to the syllabus. And then to the right of the readings and resources, you have the assignments. This week there are 3. Usually there aren't that many, but 2 of these are really pretty basic. One is to create a shared folder in Google Drive and share it with me. And the other one is to get copies of the 2 course textbooks, Friedman and Burke, because we're going to start using those in week 2. And then Forum 1 is the only real formal writing assignment this week, and it covers questions about publishing and your own personal learning goals for this course. That will be back on Blackboard, and the assignments will also be posted on the other website. Those are due Monday, January 27th, and if the due dates are always in the right-hand column, and if you notice, there's a pattern. There's always something due for this class on Monday by the end of the day, pretty much always, unless there's a holiday or spring break or something where I push the date up a day or 2. But just get it in your head that if it's Monday, there's something due for this course. It might be a discussion forum. It might be feedback on a peer piece of writing. It might be an informal assignment that will be due. But if it's Monday, something is going to be due for this class. And it's very important to just keep in the habit of doing those little pieces. If you do the little pieces piece by piece and stay on time, the course writing is not too difficult. But if you get very far behind, it suddenly becomes very, very burdensome. Once in a while, you will see a Thursday date. That is basically when we have peer feedback in the forums. So in order to give your peers time to act on your feedback by the following Monday, they need to have it by Thursday. So, once or twice in each unit, we do have a Thursday date, but not very often. They're almost always on Mondays. So I think if you read through this document and look at the writing assignments and reading assignments and everything else for and the learning goals for each week and each unit, you'll have a pretty good sense of what this course is about. I hope that this is a fairly straightforward and fairly useful document. You can print it out if you want, but sometimes I add links and stuff that a link doesn't work on a printed piece of paper. So it's better to just get in the habit of keep coming back to this. Sometimes maybe I'll swap something up or change a due date if there's inclement weather, who knows. So this is somewhat of a living document, but I've worked hard to really get a handle on the due dates and the projects and the assignments for each week. So this is a significant redesign from the way I've taught this class in the past, when it was really focused on books. Now books are only one part of the puzzle. We're really more focused on author platform and the kind of concept of making a career out of writing, whatever that might look like for you. There's lots of choices that you'll have in this course, and the work that you do in Unit 1 will really shape the work that you do in the rest of the course. And again, there's a lot of options. If you really want to go digital, you can build an author website. If you want to start a blog, you can start a blog. So you will have a lot of choices in terms of the form that your work takes, the medium that it takes, whether that's blog, podcast, ebook, regular Word documents, doesn't too much matter. But you can see from this schedule the goals, and that's pretty much an overview of the whole course. Okay, now let's go back to the homepage then. The discussion forums. I assume most of you have taken online classes before, but this is the main page where all of the discussion boards are summarized. And we have one called Ask Anything, which is literally ask anything. If you have a question about a reading or just an idea you want to throw out there, that's the best place to put it. Forum 1 is due the 27th, and that's your first post. You can read the details about it here. Forum 2 is due Monday, February 3rd, and that's here. And this page will grow pretty long because I think we're going to have about a total of 20 different forums. In addition to the discussion forums, as I said before, you will be posting your work here, either through a link to a website if you're making a website, or a link to a Google Docs file. Okay, now Google Docs, I'll have a separate video about that later, but Google Docs is basically a storage cabinet. And the advantage of Google Drive is that you can create a folder, share it with me, and then anything you put in that folder, I can see it. So I can always find your work. Just make sure you create that folder and put everything in there. It is also possible then to share an individual document. You might not want to share your whole folder with the rest of the class, but you might want to share an individual document, and that is entirely possible, and I'll show you more about that later. So then back to the discussion, back to our home page. And then finally we go to the course website, which is this one right here that I showed you earlier. Now, if you look across the top, first of all, this is the welcome page or the home page. So there's a little more description about the course. There's a video that I just recorded called Welcome to the Course, 2 minutes long. I'm making every effort to make videos super short this year. I'm actually writing a book about how to make videos for online courses, and the first thing I say is keep it short. So I'll share more about that with you as the course goes on. I'm actually writing a book as we're talking about writing books in this class, so that works out pretty cool. So that's the home page, basically just another overview about the course. And then if you click this Get Started button at the bottom, it takes you to Unit 1, Writing for Real-World Audiences and Introduction to Publishing. This is the first kind of splash page. This is like a part opener page in a book. So Unit 1 is an overview to Unit 1 itself. You can see here there's not a lot of content here, but it's just kind of an organizer page, an orientation page. And then you click on Week 1, and you will see a typical weekly page. So I always organize these to be read from top to bottom. So there's always a short overview at the top, the weekly learning goals, weekly assignments, and then details about the assignments here. And then assignment 3 is the same text that you see on the Blackboard forum. So reading it here is the best way to kind of get your mind in gear and think about the assignment before you even log in to Blackboard. So there's a lot of redundancy. Usually the assignments descriptions that are on the discussion board on Blackboard also appear here. Again, the reason for that is you can check this on your mobile phone and remind yourself of what you need to be working on. And doing that for Blackboard is not always so easy. So right now, if you hover over this, if you hit the home button, obviously it takes you back home. Then if you hover over the learning units, right now we only have Unit 1, and weeks 1 and 2 are the only ones that have any content because, again, I'm doing a complete makeover to this website. So as I get more content down in the next few weeks, you will see Unit 2 and Unit 3 appear so that you can read ahead. But that's how you access each unit, is you just mouse over the learning units and then hit Unit 1, pick the week that you want, which is probably going to be week 1. And then course text is a little page about our course textbooks, descriptions of them, links to Amazon so you can buy them. And then finally, resources. We have a selection of publisher websites that you might be using in the course, and then sample proposals for books that are written by me and by former students in the class. So there's quite a bit of stuff under that resources tab. For example, if we go to publisher websites, you can see there's a lot of them. I was attempting to kind of demonstrate the variety of different kinds of sources. So that's the course website. And again, I think the most useful point of reference at any point in time is the schedule. That tells you where we are, what you should be doing, provides links to the website content that you need. And then from there, most of the content will be on here. And then your assignments and discussion forums will be posted on Blackboard. So I hope that makes sense. It seems a little tricky at first, but I find Blackboard so bad of a user experience, and the fact that it's not mobile friendly, and the fact that it is really kind of structured in a super linear and not very pretty way just compelled me to want to move over here to Weebly, which I think is much prettier, and for me as an instructor, way, way, way easier to design with than Blackboard would ever hope to be. So that's a little bit of an orientation. I hope that helps you out. If something is confusing to you, please post a question in the Ask Anything forum, and that way myself and your colleagues in the class can see the answer. All right, thanks. See you soon.